Hi everyone, Spider-Man 1991 here, and it is day 4 of Batman Week. Batman Week, again, doing these videos, it's kind of lead into The Dark Knight Rises, and since we're pretty much at the halfway point, I figured it'd be the perfect time to talk about the two films that came before The Dark Knight Rises. The other two Christopher Nolan films, Batman Begins and The Dark Knight. These films pretty much restarted the Batman franchise, and they also renewed Batman in the Batman movies in the eyes of the fans, because let's say that before the Christopher Nolan films there were four other Batman movies. Two were done by Tim Burton, but then Warner Brothers got Joel Schumacher to take over for the last two, Batman Forever and Batman and Robin. The first two by Tim Burton were called Batman and Batman Returns. The thing is, though, that when Batman Begins came out, and I saw it with my dad, I was just blown away by it, and I immediately forgot about all the other Batman films. It's like, when I saw this, it was almost like the kind of opposite about Amazing. See, I find it interesting, because the last Spider-Man trilogy, the Sam Raimi films, when I saw The Amazing Spider-Man, I didn't really like one better than the other. Just, they were two fresh perspectives. But when I saw this, I immediately forgot about the Burton and Schumacher films. I'm like, screw those. This is the Batman movie that people should be watching, not those four pieces of crap. And it only got better because when The Dark Knight came out, that was what really drew me in and raised the bar on all superhero movies. I think that's what happened. But I'm getting ahead of myself. First, let's talk about Batman Begins. Basically, it's a reboot. Basically, Batman Begins began the new Batman franchise, and it started right back at the roots. Bruce Wayne, except this time it goes into more detail into what Bruce Wayne did after his parents' murder, about how he traveled the world trying to learn some skills to fight crime so that he could save the people of Gotham. And there's no real supervillain, and even though Ra's al Ghul is the main villain, for the majority of the film, Batman is pretty much fighting the mob. That's what the main villain is in Gotham City. Before we have any real iconic supervillains, we have Batman fighting the mob, then Ra's al Ghul. And I was very happy that they used Ra's al Ghul as a villain in this movie, because I said this before, Ra's is my second favorite Batman villain. I'm really glad. I did love the character in Batman the Animated Series, how he always seemed to try to get Batman over the dark side rather than try to destroy Batman. And seeing him in this movie was just great, especially the way they did it with Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson did a great job portraying Ra's al Ghul, and Christian Bale as Bruce Wayne, Batman, was good, except for the whole scratchy voice thing. I gotta admit, that did get a little hard to understand at times. That's the main thing people always focus on Christian Bale as Batman. What the hell is up with his voice? Why does he sound like he has throat cancer? Come on, people, try to move past the voice. Okay, that's all I'm saying. But I'm getting off topic. The thing about Batman Begins is this also helped me get back into comics too. It helped me get back into superheroes as well. It kind of reset. I mean, whereas Batman and Robin nearly destroyed all superhero movies, this one brought them back. And it was a very heartwarming story. It was a very great story about how Bruce Wayne traveled the world, and then he moves back into Gotham, and he decides, I'm going to give this city back to the people and take out the mob. And it's very great. This film does use a lot of the elements in Batman Year One, so a lot of people should be able to recognize that. Plus, it is kind of cool how Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon, he looks a lot like Gordon in Year One. That's a very uncanny resemblance. Okay, next film, though, that I like way better than Batman Begins is The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight is definitely one of my favorite. It's one of my top 3 favorite comic book movies of all time. I mean, it was just outstanding. Not just the way they portray Christian Bale as Batman, or but how Heath Ledger portrayed the Joker. Okay, he was able to take one of the most iconic supervillains off the page and bring him to life on the big screen. That was pretty damn impressive. And Aaron Eckhart as Harvey Dent was pretty nice as well, especially the whole change after the accident that made him into Two-Face. Although we didn't really get much of Two-Face, he just kind of appeared at the last. Harvey Dent sort of became Two-Face for like maybe the last, I want to say 20 minutes of the movie, at best. But yeah, this also does a great job about how the Joker tries to push Batman not just to his physical limits, but also to like his mental limits as well. Because this movie definitely demonstrates the relationship between the two. How Batman represents law and order, and Joker represents chaos. I mean, it's very outstanding. Batman Begins brought back superhero movies. Dark Knight raised the bar on them all. Okay, The Dark Knight single-handedly raised the bar, okay? And as far as comic books, I'd say this is based off of, I'm going to go with Killing Joke, because the late Heath Ledger did the movie to help him get into the role. He read the Arkham Asylum graphic novel and The Killing Joke, things like that, helped him get into the Joker state of mind, and it helped a lot because he was able to give a blockbuster performance. And elements of the Long Halloween are also in this as well, with the inclusion of Harvey Dent. I would definitely say people who are a fan of Batman, they've probably already seen these, but I cannot recommend them enough. You should watch these movies. They are awesome, especially if, for whatever reason, you haven't seen them. You should see them before seeing Dark Knight Rises, because I don't know if it's going to be possible, but I hope Dark Knight Rises does kind of beat out The Dark Knight, but it does seem like it's going to be... The Dark Knight is definitely a tough act to follow, and I think a lot of people may have really high expectations for The Dark Knight Rises. Anything else I want to say about the movies? Batman began... Still, these were some of the best comic book movies. These are, like I said, I keep saying, these are some of the best comic book movies around. Okay, they do a great job. Back to Christian Bale's voice. That is the one thing people make fun of a lot. That beeping was my phone. There's like a series of video. College Humor definitely did like a... I think there was a viral video about how Batman's very hard to understand, and... Oh, that was one of my favorite scenes in The Dark Knight, the interrogation scene. The interrogation scene where Batman's trying to get answers out of Joker. That was like my favorite scene in the entire movie. Well, one of them, at least. I did like the final fight as well, where Batman launched the spikes on his armbands into the Joker's face. There's just so much action in this movie, and most of it is with Heath Ledger and Christian Bale. Unfortunately, though, Heath Ledger passed away before the movie was released. After everything was finished and stuff, but before the movie was released, Heath Ledger passed away, and it's very sad. Especially because apparently, I think this was a rumor I heard. A friend told me at school one day, but pretty much he said that they did have a sequel planned for the... They did have the third movie planned for this, where they were going to have the return of the Joker. Unfortunately, with Heath Ledger gone, they need to rethink everything, and that's how we got Dark Knight Rises. But wow, still, I think a lot. Still, if you haven't seen these movies, I'd say go buy the DVDs, or you could just wait, because I'm pretty sure TNT or some other station on TV is going to start broadcasting these, just to help build up hype for The Dark Knight Rises. Christopher Nolan has done an amazing job bringing back Batman to the movies. Okay, these are definitely blockbuster hits. It's the reason why Christopher Nolan's work on the Batman movies is the reason why I'm not bashing the Man of Steel as much. not really bashing the Man of Steel. It's the reason I'm giving it a chance is because Nolan is involved on the project, and he seems to have a lot of respect for the characters, so I'm pretty sure he can, if we're lucky, he can pretty much turn Superman into something like this. A major hit. Well, that's really all I have to say about the Christopher Nolan Batman films. They are amazing. They're definitely my in my top 10 favorite superhero movies. You should check them out if you haven't seen them. And Dark Knight Rises is going to be great because if these two were the warm-up act, I cannot wait to see the finale. And that's all I'd say right now. Thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. Spider-Man 1991 saying, see you later.